Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 8 of the pre-production meeting. I am your co-host Josh Urquhart and I am here with...
your man, Austin Scott, as always.
Austin, how are you this week? Let's get this out of the way real quick. Out of 10, what are we saying?
Look, I go on the same. Maybe I said last week 7.5. I reckon this week is 7, just because like things that are happening are a bit out of my control at the moment.
Yep.
I'm relying on some things to fall into place, but it's still progress. It's still progress. So I did some things myself. It's not me saying that I didn't do anything all week, but
you lazy sod. I'm joking.
No, but yeah, work's been busy. I've been busy.
Yep.
Gym's been busy.
Yep.
Life's good.
Good.
7 out of 10 week.
Good stuff
for me.
Bro,
Yourself?
I would say 9 or 9.5 out of 10. We got a lot done this week, which is why we'll get straight into the podcast because we have no time to lose right now.
Exactly right. We've got some juicy shit for you all today.
We got some good stuff, you know. We got some stuff for the people that aren't really interested in the filmmaking, just the movie side. We got that. Or for you that are interested in our journey, we got some stuff for that. So without further ado, let's get into it, baby. The first section of the podcast, the wrap-up.
The wrap of the week.
That was good. The wrap-up of the week. All right, how I reckon we do this, we go individually, and then we got some stuff together to talk about. So take it away. What stuff have you seen individually this week?
Okay, so we'll go, obviously the thing we've watched, that series we watched, we'll wait till the end because that'll be the thing that wraps us all up. But I watched Nope.
Ooh.
I watched Nope, Jordan Peele's new one, and I must admit it's in my top 10 of the year. But before like I know that expectations might shoot people in the foot when they go to watch it. It is a movie that you need to sort of just interpret in your own way.
Really?
And yeah, I'll tell you this now.
Ambiguous ending kind of way or no?
No, not really. It's kind of like closed door ending kind of deal. Like good ending. But I'll tell you what, it tricked me.
Really?
Yeah, it tricked me. I thought it was one thing. Jordan Peele is slowly becoming, like you can tell, like I really like to think of like Jordan Peele has, in his days of Key and Peele, he was writing his plan. So he started with Get Out, then he did Us, then he did Nope. So I'm only excited for what's coming next. But he has really planned out what he's done because it shows in his production value and in this film. He started, one fact I didn't know is like Get Out was made for like, still massive money, but like $2.4 million. And then Us, and then Us was like, I will fact check, but like it was like 14 something million dollars. Okay. But Nope, he wanted to make it like a spectacle film. He went like 68 point something million dollars.
Yeah, right.
So and like the proof's in the pudding, like 2.4 to 14 to 68
I mean,
million.
He solidified himself as one of the best horror directors of the generation.
Yeah, exactly right.
So he's able to get that big budget after the two.
Exactly right. And there was some, because it was only me and two other people in the cinemas, right? And
you know what? That's how it is these days, to be fair. You go into the cinemas, unless it's a Marvel movie, you're literally the only person.
Exactly right. It didn't help that I went at 10:30 in the morning.
No, okay.
But in midweek. Yeah. But with that being said, bro, I was actually like sitting there and there were some elements of the filmmaking that I really appreciated. Sound design, cinematography is fucking outstanding in this movie. Okay. It is so good. Daniel Kaluuya is back. Kaluuya. He is back. He is really
generational talent. That
Keke Palmer, him and Keke Palmer together, just oh my god, their chemistry was awesome. Stephen Yeun was great as well. But yeah, like it wasn't what I expected. And I really love that. So I love going into the cinema and having an experience. I walked out of there in a great mood. Great film.
And you know what? I respect that, and I respect Jordan Peele as a filmmaker. That I don't know if you knew, but I bought a ticket and I walked into the cinema and I sat down. It was really late and I was with my mate and I'm like to him, you know what, mate? Like I'm a bit tired and I want to watch this when I'm fully awake. Let's go. And we left and went home.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Because you have to.
You have to. I can imagine, bro. It's like, even the opening scene, like, just, it draws you in and I'm like, no, not the time and place.
100%. Yeah.
Not the time and place.
And then the thing I love and like, it happens in every film is like, things are scattered throughout and you're like, oh, what's that? But then it's touched on at a vital moment in the film. And that happens in abundance in Nope. So that was what
did you give out of 5? 5 out of 5.
Yeah. Well, just because like experience.
I thought you gave it a 4.
No, I gave it a 5.
Yeah, 5. All right.
I gave another movie 4 that we'll talk about. But no, because I avoided everything about this movie. No reviews, no
trailer. Sometimes you
one
don't watch the
teaser trailer, one
Right.
teaser, and that was it. That's all I saw, and so I was really pleasantly surprised with the final product. So
Amazing.
yeah.
Awesome. What's next?
I watched another film called The Princess.
What?
Have you heard of The Princess?
No.
So Joey King, Bullet Train, right? Bullet Train.
Yeah, I know who she is.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
not a
Joey
massive-
King in
Yeah,
Bullet Train.
Yeah.
Bro, The Princess is like medieval times Raid.
What?
The Raid. And Joey King is at the helm. And
What? That is so random.
I know. And then I went into it going like, all right, I'm expecting this and stuff like that. And I got it. I got
Netflix?
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus?
Disney Plus.
Is it a Disney movie?
No,
Princess.
I think it's a like Hulu movie,
Oh, okay.
but obviously
What
that's
made you
owned by
watch
Disney.
it? How did you even...
Listen to a podcast. They spoke
yeah.
about it. The podcast that I follow on Letterboxd, he logged it. Logged it.
Watched it.
Yeah, he logged it, and I was like, all right, I'll check it out because
Yeah,
he said
right.
it's like Raid-esque.
So for people that haven't seen The Raid, how would you explain that in terms of, the princess and like...
Okay, so essentially the Raid is a bunch of cops storm a drug kingpin's building, and then they've got to go all the way up to the top.
Action.
And yeah, so they start at the bottom and then they make their way up to the top to said kingpin. But the kingpin says, if you stop these guys from coming, I'll supply with like drugs, money, and all that kind of. So it's just the entire building against these cop force, and it's balls to the wall action. The princess literally flipped. So
They're
a princess, she's at the top, and she's being forced into a marriage that she doesn't want to be in.
Right.
And then the guy that she's trying to marry, and they tell the story through flashbacks and stuff like that to where she's gotten. But they're in the castle,
And they have to get down.
and she's trying to escape because the king or prince that she's marrying has overrun her kingdom.
Yeah.
And so his men are littered throughout the building and stuff like that, and then she is way more capable than I thought she was going to be.
Yeah, when you mentioned Joey King in a kind of raid type movie, it just it doesn't mesh.
Right. Kissing booth.
Yeah, literally, eh?
But so it's literally the Raid flipped. They go from the top to the bottom.
Amazing.
And yeah, she
Would you give that?
I gave it a 3.5
Okay.
out of 5, just because the supporting cast let it down a little bit. There's a little bit of like preempting some moves and all that kind of stuff that the editing does save, but like the set pieces are really elaborately filmed and like choreographed, and there was some awesome violence.
Who
in it too.
directed it?
I think it's a first-time director, if
really?
I'm being honest. So I'll get him up. But I found myself really loving. Like, I got really excited for all the action set pieces that were coming.
Yep.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce this name, but he has directed 10 films.
Right.
He
Is
is.
this his first like big feature?
I think so, because look, I'm going to show you his name, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it.
Oh, let us give it a go. Oh, I have seen this. Okay. Le Van Kiet.
There you go, him.
Le Van Kiet. Le Van Kiet.
There's no information on him though. I don't know why.
We'll just say
they didn't
Kiet.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go. It looks like he's directed a bunch of Chinese film, maybe Korean.
Okay,
maybe Korean.
right.
But
They're
yeah,
always
so
good with their action.
yeah, that was another
Asian
one.
countries.
That was another one that I watched, and one thing that's really inspired me with this with Swirling Vortex was Kill Bill. I watched Kill Bill.
Yep, seen it, actually.
And there is a couple of animation pieces in Kill Bill
Yep,
that I was like, "Ooh,
this works.
this does work."
Have you seen 1 and 2?
I've only seen one.
Okay.
So I will get onto 2 at some, because that ending, I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
So I really liked that because it's my kind of film, as you'd imagine.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And yeah, the animation just solidified it for me. And I was
cool.
like, this is kind of what I want to do with Swirling Vortex. So I've spoken to storyboard artist. I spoke to an animator at work. Nothing's solidified yet,
Right,
but
we'll
I've got
get to
how's
that. Yeah,
how's this
sweet.
to achieve and all that
Cool.
kind of jazz. So they were like, it's not impossible. So
Amazing. That's all you need.
because I was like, look, because it's a Tarantino animation, is it impossible? Like, no, not really. If you got a good drawer, all good. I was like, game.
Amazing.
So
Alright, cool.
yeah, they're the three.
At least you now got a kind of reference.
Yeah,
to
I've got a
what you
reference.
want.
I've got a style.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's an. Oh no, I'll talk
We'll
about
get
that.
that.
In
We'll
progress.
get there. We'll get
Talk
there.
about that in progress.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Amazing.
they're the 3 that I've watched.
Cool.
But 2 you've watched, I've watched.
Yes.
So we're gonna wrap up with
We'll-
that
we'll-
after you
yep.
go after what you.
100%. So the things I've seen, I watched all of Sandman season 1.
Yes.
Incredible. incredible, bro. And, it's done something for me which primary school and high school couldn't. It made religion sound cool.
Damn.
Damn. 100%, mate. That was literally like nothing you would ever have seen before and probably won't ever see again.
Well, it's kind of interesting because I don't know what it's about. I don't even know who the character is.
Do you know who the Sandman is?
No.
He's the king of dreams. So have you seen Rise of the Guardians with the animated movie with the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, and Sandman's the one that puts the kids to sleep and gives them dreams?
Jack Frost is the main character. Yeah, I kind of watched it at work.
So it's the Sandman, and the Sandman, he gives people dreams as well as nightmares, but it's a dark, like R18 take on it, and it involves hell. Dreams, his sisters and brothers like destiny, despair, death, etc.
Okay.
And they're all kind of in a physical form, but it is so cool. And the thing about these episodes, and what Lockie, when I was talking to Lockie about, he's like, you don't know where the episode's going. Like every time, it's such in a different direction. It just keeps you guessing. You can start someplace and end completely somewhere else.
But it all works?
It all works.
Okay,
Holy shit,
good.
it works.
Good.
And episode 6, I think, is one of the best episodes of TV I've ever seen in my life.
Damn.
Yeah, it literally starts one place and ends somewhere. And it tells the story of something that we're all familiar with, which I won't spoil, but in a way that you just would never imagine. Just themes that in movies and TV shows, but told from the physical interpretations of those very thematics. I don't know if I could say anymore, but
listen to this guy, man.
Yeah. All right, so that's what I've got to say about Sandman.
Okay.
I really recommend it. It's at the moment season, and the way they end season 1. Oh my god, man! It's like those shows where you give me season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the way they can go with it, because the universe is it's like a whole, they got the whole, basically, how I like to say it, the Bible verse at their helm, basically. And they're teasing characters from the Bible who, maybe you're religious, maybe you're not. But trust me, you'll be a fan of some kind of religion after this because it makes it cool. But yeah, recommend it. You got to get onto that.
I'll tell you what, I'll get on that after, and I won't go into it too much, but I'm watching The Terminal List at the moment with Chris Pratt.
My dad watched that.
So once I finish that, I'll get on The Sandman.
Yeah, cool.
And then,
amazing.
Sweet.
Another thing I have seen, and I know you have, She-Hulk. Look, the first episode was all right. It was there for exposition. It was supposed to be actually later in the season, and I didn't hate it, but these Disney Plus Marvel shows, they're never, number one, they're never great in its entirety. Number one, the pilots are very weak sometimes.
Yes.
Episode 2, which you haven't seen, was a bit better. And it kind of gets into finds its own tone and stuff like that. And you know who's in it? I don't know. Did you used to watch Arrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you watch the episode with Prometheus? The guy, Josh Seguiara. Do you know who that is? No. Trust me, if I show you a photo, you'll know who he is.
I think I stopped watching Arrow before it got into its this
was the best
crossovers.
Yeah, this guy?
Oh, the face is so familiar.
Yeah. So he was in Arrow, right? But he shows up, and I'm like, he is one of my favorite actors, in TV.
Okay.
And I'm like, wow, he's in it? Okay. I'm intrigued. This is not spoil. You've seen the trailers for She-Hulk?
Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna say because Tim Roth is back as the Abomination, and he's acting incredible.
Okay.
Incredible. I don't know the way that you like. I think this episode kind of makes up for the first episode.
Better, Jesus.
And they reference, because this is not really a spoiler, but there's a part in the episode where she's calling Banner or whatever, and she's like, da 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 da. I won't say why. And then Banner's like, oh yeah, I'm a different person now, literally. And then she looks at the camera and goes, haha, in reference to Edward Norton and now Mark Ruffalo. Different, and I really like that.
Okay.
It saves itself in the first episode. What didn't you like about the first episode?
It didn't work in my eyes.
Tone, writing.
Well, I couldn't grab onto anything. I couldn't get on board with anybody or anything. The obviously times are different. The rules have changed with Hulk and everything like that. And the episode does go all right, I guess we'll just skip that part in the induction of being a Hulk. But like, I don't know. I hope it gets better.
It will,
but
100% it will.
I don't know. I just
weak. It's
literally
weak.
When the episode finished, when my screen went black, I could just see the disappointment in the reflection looking back at me, and I was just sitting there, I couldn't comment, and I was just like, "What the fuck is Marvel
I think
doing?"
she's a great actress. I think what's her name? Tatiana Maslany or whatever.
No clue.
Yeah, I think she's a great actress, and she comes into her own this second. I still can't get with the CGI though.
No,
I can't.
Oh, sorry. The one thing I hated was,
yeah,
I was like, "What the fuck is
a reference
this?"
to the first film though in The Incredible Hulk where they do that, but it's much more. Bro, you look at that and you look at the difference in CGI, and they didn't have as much money back then as they did now. What the fuck have they done? Like, how can you literally downgrade when you have more money?
I think it's Marvel and their impossible deadlines with
VFX.
Yeah,
I think so.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, so that was She-Hulk, and they do reference something really cool. It's a blink and you miss it kind of reference.
Okay.
But all I'm saying is, in the next episode when you watch it, pause it when she's reading her iPad and it flashes on there to show the news articles she's looking at. Look to the sidebar and there's some massive Easter eggs.
Yeah, 3 massive Easter eggs. Okay.
2.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll get on it.
Yeah. Last thing, singularly, what I want to talk about, something that's really pissing me off. I know it's not really movies or TV shows, but I'm sick of this fucking Katy Perry menu log ad.
At my work, it is in every single ad break, and
I can't stand it.
Head.
It literally it feels like there's insects crawling under my skin whenever it comes on now. They overused it in Origin, and now it shows up every 3 times each ad break. And I'm like, how much can they replay an ad that's not even good? Snoop Dogg's was cool. Now, this is just shit.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. I literally cannot fucking stand
and
it.
Menulog isn't great either.
It's not. I've never ordered from Menulog and gotten my order without a problem.
Exactly, me too.
Ordered about 10 times and every time there's been a problem.
I had to go pick it up myself.
Yeah, or they just haven't. Or Menulog has these restaurants on their app that don't even do delivery.
That don't use Menulog. The restaurants don't use the menu.
Bullshit. Anyways, that was that. Let's get rid of that. All right. Now, first thing let's talk about together, Only Murders in the Building Season 2.
Yes.
By the way, there are spoiler alerts from now on for these films that we'll talk about and TV shows.
Absolutely. So, Only Murders in the Building tricked me at every turn. And I loved that. I absolutely loved that. I thought it was going one way because, in a way, I like being right when it comes to films, and people go like, "Oh, it's so predictable" and stuff like that. But when I predict something and it pays off, I'm like, "Yes!" Like I like that experience. Like I like thinking that.
Cool.
But when I think something and it goes another way and pays off even better, I'm like, "Oh, that was even better."
Right.
Because I was sold on somebody.
Who we sold on?
I was sold on the other podcaster.
Oh, right.
I was sold. I was like,
yeah.
all right.
What's her name?
Cindy.
Oh God.
Something.
Cindy
Kaling?
Cindy Kaling.
Cindy Kaling.
Cindy Kaling, the chick who wrote The Office.
No.
The girl that played Kelly is Cindy Kaling, mate.
You're going to feel really stupid when you Google her.
I 100%. How much do you want to bet on this, bro?
$100. Shake on it right now on camera. Hear this? You see how awkward it is? Because he knows he's fucking wrong. Yeah, I didn't say Mindy, idiot. You just shook on $100, you you said it with chest. You showed me with chest.
It's because I searched up her name and showed you like
I can't believe how confident you were then.
That was funny.
I'm looking up her actual name in it.
Yeah.
I was sold on the other podcaster. And then for it to be who it was, I was like, that was really
That's
clever.
good. So it tricked you.
Yeah, I was like, that was really clever. Because also when they're doing the killer reveal party, I bought that it all went to shit. I bought that it all went to... me and Beth were sitting there like, what? What the fuck? That can't happen. No, that cannot happen. And then when he comes back and you're like, oh, good plan. And then what gets revealed and you're like, yep.
My thoughts on that, right? I don't know if it was because I got it spoiled for me.
It's probably because you got it spoiled.
So the sports bet thing was correct, right? Whoever the sports bet. So yeah, it was her. And also what got spoiled for me, which we'll talk about in a sec, was at the end the cameo of a certain big actor.
Oh yes.
That also got spoiled for me because I searched up because I was double checking that the finale was out, and I searched up and the top headline was Paul Rudd cast for season 3. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. And as I go into it, and that review, my thoughts, right? I didn't absolutely love it. I thought it was good. I thought season 1 was much stronger. My personal opinion.
Yep.
I know other people preferred season 2. I thought it was a bit weak, that party kind of thing, because we've already seen the party kind of reveal like earlier on in the season. I don't know. I thought it was a bit weak. I thought they could have done it a bit better.
Yeah. Okay.
I knew it was going to be her all along, and I actually hope that they killed off Steve Martin. I hope they did, because I'm like, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, and because you told me that that's his last role, and I was like, is this how he's going
why
out?
I'm like, they've killed him off.
Yeah,
he's not coming back.
I was like, is this how he goes out of his acting career?
Literally,
but yeah,
but no, he's back, and but yeah, the ending to that Paul Rudd showing up, I'm like, fuck yes, they cannot cast a better person for this kind of show, and he's a season regular in season 3.
Okay, good. So. One thing I want to say about Only Murders in the Building as well was when you said last week, the week before, like, oh, if it is this chick and all that kind of thing, and I was like, well, you've just spoiled a gender for me and all that kind of stuff. Totally forgot about it.
Did ya?
Totally forgot about it, and it kept alluding to, like, you know, which female is it? Is it her? Is it her? Is it him?
I'll tell you who I really like, the guy, the gay dude that's very
the one with the cat.
The guy that was
so good.
He's fucking hilarious.
And then when it's obvious that he's acting, he's like, I fake fainted.
Yeah. Bro, that was amazing. But yeah, Paul Rudd, incredible.
Yep.
So happy they got him. And yeah, Only Murders, what do you give it, the season 2 out of 10?
Season 2.
Out of 5.
Out of 5. Probably a 3.5.
I'll give it a 3.5
because of how much it tricked me and all that kind of stuff.
And first season for me was a 5 or 4.5.
Yeah, I'll go 4.5.
Still 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes season 2. So go watch it. I
can see why. Yeah. And a lot of people froth it, so I'm all about it.
100%. All right, cool. Prey. You saw Prey. Yeah. So you weren't the only one that said it was incredible. My mate, who I see all the Marvel movies and stuff, he said, "Bro, you got to watch this. This is one of, if not the best movie I've ever seen."
Bro, it went so under the radar and just came out. Here's another Predator movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So you have talked about it, I think. Didn't you talk about it like
I spoke about it a little bit, but you hadn't watched it by that point.
Yeah. I thought it was decent. Didn't think it was the best movie I've ever seen. Definitely don't know how it was my mate's one of the best he's ever seen. I can understand people's favorites or whatever. I don't know if it would have helped if I watched another Predator Prey movie. I don't know. My mate who had seen the Predator movie, so he's like, apparently it's a complete copy of the first Predator.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and how they hide, like in the first one they use something or other, in this one they use water or mud.
No. So what they did in the first one was they Arnold got covered in mud and then the Predator couldn't see him. But in this one, she gets stuck in mud and then you're like, oh, that's how she's going to hide from the Predator and all that kind of stuff. But then she cleans and you're like, mate, what are you doing? But then there's no way that you can know because this is supposed to predate Arnie's Predator. Yeah, so obviously when the Predator sees warm bodies, that's obviously people alive. But then when they're cold bodies, they're obviously dead. So then the herb, it cools the body down, which makes her invisible as well to the Predator. And I thought that was a masterstroke.
Yeah, cool.
And there was a favourite sequence of mine, which I could guarantee you know which.
Yep.
When he just mows through the...
I thought it was awesome. I thought the kills were amazing.
Oh my God. That one with the net, that one.
That was sick.
Because I feel like they're going in a direction, and this is to quote the podcast I listened to on the way here that reviewed it. They're sort of going like, I reckon the pitch was, what if we put a Predator in this time?
Yeah, I like that.
In this time period. And then they went, okay,
different period pieces.
Yeah. And then they go, okay, what if we put Predator in Vikings time? What if we put a Predator...
Victorian era.
Yeah. What if we put Predator in like samurais and all that kind of stuff?
Dude, I'd watch that.
I think that's the direction they're going.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's to quote the other podcast I listened to. And I was like, I'm all for that.
Yeah. And
then they tied it in. There was like this slightest little post-credit scene as well for Prey.
Was it?
It's literally in the credits. It's not like a cut to black. Then there's a scene playing out. It's like a little animatic kind of thing. Like she comes back with the weapon, but then 3 other Predator ships descend onto their village, and then it cuts to black.
All right,
so
cool.
no, Prey was awesome. What did you think about it?
I gave it a 4.
Nice.
I thought it was good.
Nice.
I thought it was good. Good kills, good action. Not much dialogue, which is fine, but I think the action carried itself. Very simple kind of movie.
Absolutely.
Like intense killing, but simple but effective.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
100%.
But I liked it. Like, that's all I got to say.
There was the what's it called? She was really capable.
Yep.
Like she held her own. But what impressed me the most was like, oh, these guys are about to get fucked up by the Predator, because the Predator is just so much more elite. Because he was working his way up the food chain. Started with the snake because it killed a rabbit.
Oh, it did.
So then he saw a dog chasing a rabbit. So he saw that as the like apex predator at the time. So he killed the wolf.
Yeah.
And then he saw a bear attacking a human.
Yeah.
So then he's like, obviously that bear attacking the human's the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
So then he kills the bear and then gets onto the human. So I didn't notice that until the podcast pointed it out, but I was like, that's a good layer to the film. And so then obviously the predator is much more elite than the humans. And then when there's that scene where she's cuffed, not cuffed, but like tied, and she can't get out. And then they verse the predator, the tribe. Bro, I just expected the predator to go like shink, dead. But they're like ducking, weaving, landing shots and all. And I was like, yeah, that would play out that way.
Very
like they're hunting prey.
Yep.
2 predators going at each other kind of deal.
Awesome.
I was like, fucking awesome.
Now, do you remember, and I was watching this movie with one thought in my head, and do you remember in film school where they gave us, there is an unspoken rule in cinema. Mm-hmm. You never kill a dog.
Never kill a dog.
Right?
Never.
And you guys watch every movie ever made, and there has never been a dog that has been murdered on screen. Maybe off screen, but not on screen. And I was watching this movie going, this dog, I bet you're on the edge of your seat.
I was. That added a layer for me, I will admit.
This doggo better not die.
Well, there was that scene where the dog's charging at the predator.
Yeah,
and
I was
then,
like, for sure
you see
done.
the laser target the dog, and you're like, he's not going to miss.
Yeah,
because
right.
it's impossible for him to miss. But then something happens.
Yeah. And like I was with my mate and I was watching it, and I told him about the rule, and he was listing all these movies, and he was like, oh my God, they really don't ever show a dog get murdered. It might die on screen, just like normally pass away at a vet or something, but you'll never see a dog get murdered on screen ever.
Yeah. I Am Legend pushed the barrier a little bit because like obviously Sam turns into a zombie dog.
Yeah.
And then like the camera comes right up to Will Smith and the dog's just under frame. Like you can't see it getting like choked out. So it's obviously like that's the barrier.
You know what? And you know what I'm going to do when I make it big?
You're not going to kill a dog. Kill a dog.
I'm going to break the 180-degree rule. I'm going to kill a dog.
No, never.
I'm going to do everything that goes against.
Cancel this man.
I'm
Lockie,
joking.
cancel this man.
I'm joking. I'm not going to do that. But it would be funny if someone just went, fuck it, let's break all the rules of cinema right here.
You never kill a dog.
Yeah. Anyways, Prey, you gave 5?
Gave it 5.
Gave 5.
It's in my top 10 of the year.
Awesome. What time are we on?
We're on 30 minutes.
Right, we'll run through
minutes.
these last 2 real quickly. The Day Shift.
Ooh-wee.
I did not expect that to be as good as it was. Honestly.
Neither. I didn't.
I thought it was awesome.
I thought it was too.
I even like, I watched part of it at night, fell asleep, watched the rest of it the day after. It didn't deserve to be that good. Yeah. I mean, sorry, it didn't deserve to. It had no right being that good.
Yeah, no,
I don't even know why I love Snoop, man.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing about that movie, I'll tell you right now, is when he gets the knife, swings out the guy's neck, and spins it around on his neck.
That was Jamie.
Holy shit!
That was so impressive.
That was the best kill I've ever seen in cinematic history. I'm like, what the fuck?
Fun fact, that director is a stuntman as well.
Is he?
So
I can tell.
That's
I can tell. You can tell when a stuntman directs.
Yes, 100%. And when Scott Adkins shows up, oh my days. Because I was like, geez, that guy looks like Scott Adkins.
Yeah.
And then I was like, there was another shot of him. I was like, fuck, this guy probably gets that he looks like Scott Adkins a lot. And then I heard him talk and I was like, it fucking is Scott Adkins. I recognise
that other guy as well.
I don't know where from either, but he was cool as well.
Cool. That movie, man, I just love it.
Do you know what another thing that Snoop did that was really cool? When him and Jamie Foxx are going through that tunnel to get to their wife and kid, stuff like that. And then Snoop is just like, he's got his gun and he's just going like, killing him. So that one gets a bit close to him, so he turns on the light that burns him and stuff like that, and then just goes
Mate,
light off. Continues. Doesn't even. He's not phased by it. I just murdered you. See you later.
What about when Snoop's doing backflips and shit?
Right?
And I'm like, hell fucking yes, bro.
I love that.
Amazing.
Day Shift, strong recommend.
4.5 out of 5 from me.
Gave it 3.5.
3.5, fair.
But only because I didn't buy the villain as intimidating.
Who was the villain?
I don't know.
Oh, the chick.
The chick?
Yeah,
Well, I thought you meant actress there. Sorry.
Yeah.
The villain I didn't find intimidating. I thought she was gone like that. And like her side
posses,
Yeah, I was like, you guys just get a bullet to the head and you're gone, like
fair
kind
enough.
of thing. So that's why I went 3.5 for me. But other than everything else, everything else was amazing.
Amazing. All right, last one. 13 Lives, bro. I thought I knew the story. I did not know the story.
I knew nothing about the story.
I knew nothing about the story. I thought that was amazing. I thought it was
So did
one
I.
of the best movies that they've made based on real life events.
100%.
And God, I love Colin Farrell, man.
Yeah.
I was thinking last night, he's one of the best actors of this generation.
Yes.
And I feel like he's underlooked by people such as, you got Christian Bale, you got Matthew McConaughey, Leo. I feel like he's very underlooked.
I feel
very
the same.
underrated.
I feel the same.
In what's it called? Not Kingsman, fucking
Gentleman.
I get goosebumps thinking he's one of my favorite actors to this day.
Yeah, 100%.
Incredible.
With Colin Farrell as well. A lot of people think Ryan Reynolds is the sexiest actor working today. Colin Farrell is right up there, man. He is
good looker.
Good-looking
rooster.
Holy shit. I remember, what movie did I watch? I think Emmanuel told me to watch. It's called Solace.
Oh,
Solace or whatever.
Yeah.
And in my review, I said, I think we all need to start recognizing that Colin Farrell's up there as one of the sexiest actors working today.
100%.
He is so fucking good looking. It is ridiculous.
That movie, it got me, man. I'm like, I watched a bit of it, had to go out at night, and I'm like, fuck, I need to get home, watch the rest.
Yeah.
And there were 3 things that stuck with me throughout that whole film. One of my favorite parts. One thing that made me quite emotional was when the coach is there and he's saying, I thought the parents would blame me.
Right, that hit
hard.
Yes.
He's like, why they all think, I thought they would hate me, and he just breaks down.
Yep.
Another thing is I didn't know about the cat.
Me either.
And I'm like, hold on.
Yeah.
What?
Because
they're like, we're going to sedate them. And they're like, with ketamine.
Yeah,
and I'm
exactly
like,
right.
Holy
I just
shit.
want to give context for those that don't know what we're talking about. This is the Thai rescue mission for the 13
boys.
The 12 boys and soccer coach that were stuck in a cave that got flooded. And I did not know about the ketamine either.
I did not know.
I did not know. And when that happened, I was exactly on board with Joel Edgerton. I was like, what?
Joel Edgerton. Another thing I'll mention. So this is a reason why I don't like Australian dramas and Australian TV in general, is just they're not convincing.
Right.
Joel Edgerton in that movie plays the most convincing Australian performance I've ever seen in any movie ever.
I agree.
It's so natural. And you know what? It's like people are so normalized to American accents, and they seem that is the way to deliver lines in cinema. Then when you see Australians do it, I thought it's, people think maybe it's just we don't hear it enough. It's just not convincing as an actor. Joel Edgerton kills it.
Nailed that role.
Nailed it. And the
Oh
Australian accent actually seemed like it fit.
Yeah, 100%. Because obviously there was multiple nations involved in the rescue and stuff like that. And so, it wasn't like, okay, you're an American, put on an American accent and all that kind of stuff. It was just like, you're the Australian that administered the ketamine to these boys
Incredible
to pass them through.
Man.
And it was just, that's one thing, like I said to you a couple of weeks ago, I love films that just flow.
Yep.
13 Lives just flowed.
Amazing.
From start to finish. And I put myself in the shoes of the boy that didn't go to the cave with them because he had to go home and help his dad cook.
Yep.
I was like, you would feel so bad.
Yeah.
That you can't help what happens. I'm not trying to blame him that he wasn't there with his team and all that kind of stuff. But you would think to yourself, like, oh my God, like they are my teammates. I'm stuck out here. I can't get to them. My friends are stuck in a cave. Like, oh my God, this is terrible. And I really felt for him too, because And I love that he jumps up and does the Ronaldo when he celebrates.
Yes.
And so then when the news gets out that they found the boys and he's just constantly jumping, doing the Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I got goosebumps watching that.
Yeah.
And I felt the pressure of the, I want to say governor.
Yeah.
Governor General.
Do you know if he ended up leaving anyway after that?
I don't know.
But they put him in that position. They kept him for those next couple of weeks so they could blame it on him
if anything went wrong. And that's the thing. I remember, like, Beth looked it up throughout because I was tense the entire way through, and I feel like that's the feeling you're meant to feel.
Yeah.
And I remember Beth looked it up and she goes, only 2 people died in the thing.
Yep.
And I remember
one afterwards from bloodborne disease.
Blood poisoning. Yeah. But how much did that hit when
underwater?
Yeah,
the Navy SEAL.
Because you can't turn around and be like, I need help. Because once you turn around and go, I'm fine, he goes, sweet.
Claustrophobic.
Then turns around. You can't turn around and be like, oh, you're good, that kind of thing. Once you can't help. Like, you're underwater. You're submerged underwater in a claustrophobic space. I was like, oh.
Ron Howard nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Attention.
Do you know what else hit?
What?
Remember when the text appeared at the end of the film and it said, after the rescue happened, I can't tell you the amount of time that happened, but that cave became completely submerged.
Flooded, cooked.
Imagine that, man.
The timing.
Oh, and also respect. And I'm glad that it also did the credit where the government compensated the farmers that sacrificed their rice fields.
Yes, I'm so happy about that as well, yeah.
Everything just like, and that's beautiful.
Yep.
That is beautiful that everybody just came together because they're like, for the boys.
Another
the boys
fact
need to get out of that cave.
I read about it is, so there's a documentary also made on that called
The Rescue.
The Rescue.
Yeah.
And how demeaning it probably would have been. In the middle of 13 Lives production, that came out. That award-winning documentary with the award-winning directors from Free Solo who just won the Oscar, and that came out and mid-production. Jesus. So having to soldier on to knowing that their story is just being told, not their story, but like, it was just a bit. But they soldiered on, made an incredible movie. Well,
because I saw that. I remember. I think it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
the documentary.
The doco,
And so I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, that must be about the movie."
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm going to go watch the movie. And so I watched the movie, not the documentary.
Yeah.
I'll definitely check out the documentary.
Yeah, because it's with the real people. Yeah. Real videos and stuff.
I also liked Viggo Mortensen's arc at the start when they called him and he's like, I don't like kids. Like,
yes.
We find them, they're not coming out.
And then at the end, the guys...
He becomes the most passionate about getting them out. And then he has that luck charm. That was... Oh, do you know, another nice little thing was when Colin Farrell's in the cave and like the boys are obviously terrified and everything like that. And Colin Farrell's like, you know, telling them what they want to hear and stuff like that. And then he puts the bandage, not the bandage, on the bracelet and sort of goes like, for those of you that are listening and not watching YouTube, he goes like this. And then the little kid shows his and has a big smile on his face. Yeah. Like shows him the bracelet showing like, you know, don't give up, keep being brave. Oh my God, that hit as well. I was like, oh.
So many about that movie hit, man. Like,
and
cracking.
It, how much did you feel when I think his name was Chris, he stuffed up?
Oh, yes.
And then he was.
Yeah, just how much guilt they feel. Also, even after when everything's all right, they're still like, this could have happened.
I loved how it wasn't like, you know, guys, I'm so sorry, I fucked up and all that kind of stuff. You could have fucking lost a life kind of thing. Like, mate, it's fine. Like, we're out. They're out. It's fine.
Everything's fine.
You're fine. It all worked. Yeah. You know, we helped each other and everything. Yep. I loved how there wasn't like a dick swinging contest either. Like, I'm the best diver here, all that kind of stuff. It was literally just euphoric the entire time, and just the dedication that everybody showed to get these boys out of the cave was incredible. It was so inspiring. Yeah, it was honestly. I felt afterwards, and even Beth was like, "That's so inspiring." People coming together and the bravery of those boys as well.
And the coach to teach them to meditate.
100%.
Amazing.
And I got a question for you. Would you want to be first or last to be rescued out of the cave?
Oh my God, Austin, I don't know, man.
Because me and Beth tried to decide and we were like, I don't know, because obviously if something goes wrong, you're the first.
If you go last, there's no guarantee you'll make it out.
That's another thing as well, is like once they take off, you don't know what's happening. Like, okay, he's out, next one, come on. Like, you've got to trust that he's making his way through the cave and stuff. Like, that was a 6.5 hour dive.
I know.
Lengthwise, not depth. claustrophobic as well and stuff like that. Man, oh man.
I could have done it in 4 hours.
But I'm so glad that everybody made it out.
Yep.
Rest in peace to those two.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
4.5. What did you give it? 4?
4.
Cool.
Rest in peace to those lives lost. And, everybody came together to rescue 12 innocent boys' lives and a soccer coach's life.
Go watch it.
Great film.
Let's go to the next section of this podcast, the progress.
Yes.
Austin, you start this week because
Yes.
I usually start every week. So.
I'm going to say this week, like I said at the start of this episode, I'm going to rate my progress a 7 out of 10, not a 7.5 like last week.
Yeah.
Just because there's a couple of things in play, some things I've got, and some things that are kind of not out of my control, but kind of like wheels are moving behind the scenes to what I'm doing, if that makes sense.
Talk to me.
So one thing that I have been stressing about was the Bible, right?
Yep.
I am...
That should be the fun bit. Why are you stressing?
No, because like, I'll be real, I don't really know how to convey like what I'm thinking in like a professional sense, if that makes sense. I'll fully admit that, be transparent on this podcast. This is all a learning curve for me.
Yep, 100%.
And with the guidance of Josh, who's been massive help through this whole scenario, through this whole process, I'm just really going off the templates that you've given me.
Cool.
So with the Bible, I'll turn it around and show you.
Have you got some for me?
So...
What?
So, also signed up to PowerPoint just to get
Oh
get
my
it moving.
God.
So, if we go into slideshow and go from the start. Come on.
Have you finished it?
No.
All right,
There's some things I need to touch on and I need to draw out and probably explain a bit more what I'm trying to get.
All right, so I'll commentate on what I'm seeing right now. So he's got the concept art as the title page. All right, next slide. Yep, he's got the director's statement. Amazing. You can probably add a couple images above and below the director's statement there.
Yeah, cool.
That's
awesome.
amazing.
So
perfect.
there's the director's statement.
Animation style, perfect. Yeah, he's got references such as Invincible, Teen Titans Go. Don't know what that is.
That's Kill Bill.
Kill Bill. What's the middle?
That's Kill Bill.
Kill
as well.
Bill. Oh, they're all Kill Bill.
That's Kill Bill. This is Samurai Jack. Do you remember
Samurai
that cartoon?
Jack. No, I do not. What's the top left?
Top left is Your Name.
Oh, yep. Cool. So those are...
Primarily what I wanted to achieve here was just like, it's the 2D look.
Can I tell you, and I was going to mention this in my little thing, but I think you're best going with a kind of, maybe not anime looking, but an anime style, because it would be cheaper because they don't animate every frame.
Kill Bill.
Yeah?
I know exactly what you're about to say.
Yeah.
It's like a still.
Yeah.
And it kind of, like the camera sort of moves.
Sure. Like, and it would be cheaper.
That's exactly what the animator told me to work. So that's,
on the same wavelength.
There we go, cool.
Let's go.
So that's why when I thought about Kill Bill, I really liked that. And I was like, okay, that can be something that we kind of incorporate. So there's that.
They're all the same as well, the same style. I love it. You've got a style. That's what you want. Yep.
That's one thing I wanted to get in with as well. Next is a shooting style.
Yep, for the real life.
Yep, for the real life stuff.
And he's got references from I Am Robot.
Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot. I Am Robot. What the fuck?
But essentially, I'll describe this, right? So to really capture the feeling of our protagonist, the cinematography of the film is going to only have the protagonist in frame with the use of negative space, just to get inside his head.
Yeah, I like that.
And with
a lot of negative space.
Yeah, with the slide that's coming up, it really is going to enter the mindset, because what I'm trying to explain thematically is like getting out of your comfort zone and really gaining back your confidence.
Yep.
It's something I struggled with for a bit.
Yep.
And it's something that I want to explore in
That's amazing
a creative
that you're
space.
bringing that into the movies that you're making, brother.
So, and as well, the supporting cast will only have their bodies in frame without revealing their faces, to show Chris is truly living in his own world.
Oh, mate, you've nailed it on the head with style.
And
I love it.
He chooses to block out what he doesn't want getting into his mind. Right?
Goosebumps.
So, in that sense, right, I want the frame to sort of just, like, it doesn't show anybody else's face.
What movies does that happen in? I know it. Oh, fuck.
I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'll maybe come with that next week.
Cool.
But I like that idea, because it solely focuses on that mental state.
And negative space, by the way, if you don't know what it is when you position somebody in frame, it's basically everything else in the frame is the background.
Yeah. And
That's
he's
what we
just
call
kind
negative
of
space.
there, yeah. So I really like when I did some research, I really liked the mental aspect that negative space conveys.
Yes, especially in Mr. Robot.
Yes. And so I was like...
isolation.
Yeah, isolation and stuff like that. But that enters into...
Colors and lighting. Ooh, okay.
So I'll read out here. Safe haven will be his room and the color represents his true happiness while the other rooms in the house will be bland.
Mm-hmm.
Bland and basic, showing he is out of his comfort zone. So when he's in his room, right, that's him expressing himself. That's his true nature and stuff like that.
You're just going to get a bunch of LEDs.
Yeah, like just
get the LED panels. My brother has them.
From Kmart.
Use my fucking
I've got LED lights at home, stuff like that.
Yeah,
we need a gaming chair. It's fine. Like
I'll have them.
Like posters, memorabilia, and stuff like that.
Done.
It's just what I want. So when we enter his room, the negative framing goes.
Yep.
The negative framing only exists outside of his room. Okay, so when we're in his room, it's vibrant. It's
love it
because that's And then when he goes out for the thing that he's going out for, don't do anything spoilers.
Yep.
But that's going to be kind of just like bland and just your normal lighting and all that kind of stuff. So that's for the colors and lighting. And then I did his personality, the two characters' personalities.
Oh my god!
So
you got all right. Has got little character attributes. Oh, hold on. Wait, we're not. Does that get that in frame? All right, cool. Because you can see the name of the character.
Oh, we've already said it.
Have we?
Yeah, said it a couple of times.
Okay, Josh, remember to cut that out.
So beep it out.
So the two main characters, you've got stuff as so the main character, you've got references to Matt Murdock from Daredevil, Ryan Gosling's character in
Great man.
that movie, Bob Odenkirk from Mr. Nobody, is that Shia LaBeouf from Transformers?
Yes, and the reason why I put him in there is just because he's sort of a loner too.
Yep.
And he just wants, not to be left alone, but at the same time, he's really
introverted.
Yeah, kind of deal. And then
Mitchell's in the Machine.
Katie Mitchell from the Mitchells vs. the Machine. She's
Amazing.
just full of hope and optimism and stuff. That really expresses who she is. So I want a little bit of that in there
and then
as well.
The other main character, you got Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange. I don't know. I can't really see that top right. What is that?
This is a villain from Wonder Woman. I forget his name.
Oh,
the villain from Wonder Woman 1.
Right. Ares?
Yeah. And then,
Killmonger, and then
Hans Gruber from Die Hard.
Sure. Thought that was Nick Cage for a second. What's his name from The Boys? Homelander, and then Loki. Cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
So that's the Bible so far.
I love that.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I read that and I feel it and I understand it and...
Thank you, sir.
Bro, what do you mean you find it hard conveying? That's all you need to fucking do.
All right, awesome. So that's good. I was going to talk to you about that after.
Incredible.
I've also received the first page of storyboards.
Oh.
Yeah.
And?
So I'm impressed.
Yeah?
I'm very happy
Are we going to get a live reaction?
No. I've already looked at it, but I can get your reaction.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
So
right, show us.
It was always going to be that style of storyboards to begin with.
Amazing.
And I'm just going to voice over it and sound effect it and talk over it to convey what's going on.
Cool.
Deal.
Cool.
So I can build the animatic.
How long did this take him?
It took him a couple of days. And
for that?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So he's doing that. He's got, I say it took him a couple of days because when he showed me this, by the way, shout out Aaron, thank you so much for all your work.
Yep, shout out Aaron.
When I met up with him on Monday, he had this frame was empty and this frame needed work.
Cool.
I told him what I wanted in there and all that kind of stuff. And then he's done the next page. So he did a couple of things that I asked as well.
Yep.
And so he's working on the next 2 pages as well.
Amazing.
So
cool. And by the time will he have everything drawn from the animation piece? Is that what you're doing with him?
Yeah. So he's gonna get me the rest of them in the coming week.
Cool.
And then before anything's finalized, stuff like that, I'll go over it, revise it, see what's in there. I'll maybe convey style and colors and all that kind of stuff. And
it's all coming together.
So then with that as well, I'm just going to sort of I've also, as you know, last week I recorded that little video, which I'm going to incorporate these storyboards into, and then the choreography, which I'm hoping to organize soon. I haven't really put anything out there. I'm going to talk to you about it. But once that sort of gets rolling, then got to sort of secure a DOP
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
And then the choreography with the camera as well can happen in a sense that like is not complicated.
And what about this animator at work? What's he saying?
Essentially, the animator at work, he has helped me out a lot.
Yep.
With terms of animation and all that kind of stuff. Basically, when I was stuck looking for a style, I told him what I wanted,
and he gave
me ideas, which solidified for me. I was like, "Oh, I've just watched Kill Bill, by the way," and he's like, "Kill Bill's a perfect reference because that animation sequence is essentially an animatic in a film."
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
So it's
like a stylized animatic.
Yeah, and the style that I've envisioned for the animation of Swirling Vortex was the sort of like not anime style, but 2D simplistic kind of thing, which Kill Bill does in spades.
Yeah,
and so I conveyed that to him, and then he got up certain styles and stuff like that. He's like, this style would suit it because he's read the script as well.
Yep.
So and I've said, this is animation. And he goes, when I pictured it, I pictured this style. So he was like, Kill Bill's perfect. And this kind of style is awesome.
Yep.
And then we spoke about that. And then I also asked him, I'm like, hypothetically, say you're the animator on this film. What do you need from me? And he told me what he needed. And then he's like, I need.
My God, that is amazing.
Yeah. And he was
like that. Yeah.
He was like, ideally, concept art would be ideal.
Yep.
Storyboards, a script. And I was like, well, you've already got a script. I showed him concept art.
Yep.
That Long did.
Yep.
Thank you, Long.
Yep. Shout out Long.
And he was like, well, you've already got concept art. You're getting storyboards on the way.
You've got everything.
This can happen sooner rather than later.
Which will, 100%.
So,
fuck yes, bro. I'm so happy for you.
So, and also last night I was talking to my family about this and, like I'd never spoken to my family about this before.
Cool.
And they sounded really excited as well.
I'm excited for you. 100%.
So I'm actually like, I'm in really, really positive mindset about this project now because things like I was always in a positive mindset about this. Like once we started this podcast, I was like, things are actually happening now. But brother, things are actually happening.
They're
now.
happening, bro. You've got,
So, I'm in a really positive space with this.
Fucking oath.
Yeah, so
good stuff. Keep it down on that storyboard. That Bible.
Yep.
Once that's done, we kick off, baby.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I'm keen to hear about yours as well. So yeah, that's my progress.
Well, that's amazing, Austin. I've got goosebumps multiple times.
I've got a couple of people at work asking me like, when are you making this? And then I've got
it's gonna be a while.
One of my mates as well. I was like, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah, so. Yeah, thank you for all your words.
Good stuff.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Osto. That's amazing. Alrighty. So I have some progress for my film and for yours. For mine, I'd like to announce that I've finished the whole breakdown of the book. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So I did a whole 9 chapter breakdowns because I wanted to get it done before this podcast today. So I did 9 chapter breakdowns this week and I've fully finished the book. I've finished it twice now, but I've broken down a book and there's a 26-word document on my computer of just the breakdown of each
Do you mean 26 pages?
Oh, sorry. 30. Wait.
Pages?
No. 30 pages because I've done 30 chapters.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you said words. I was like, ooh.
No. Word document. Yes, so I did the 9 chapter breakdowns and I finally figured out what part of Egypt I'm going to incorporate into the movie. And I want to read you a line, it's my favorite line of the book.
Okay.
There was a line in the desert. I'll give you no context, but I just thought it was an awesome line, right? I took a photo of it. Okay, so they're going back and forth like the villain and one of the main characters, right?
Yep.
And he's like, may the eternal torches of hell blast you. And then he responds with, the devil was once put in hell by a priest and he enjoyed it. I don't know, there's something about that. There's something about that. I'm like, whoa, shit. I'm like, that is staying in the film. Oh, man.
Well, that makes me excited.
I know, right?
It's banter. I love banter within characters and dialogue, man.
I'm going to put that in, I think, the proof of concept. Yeah, so I know which part I'm going to mess around with because it's not a clear part. It's a part that I'm taking from the end of the book in Egypt, putting it at the start. But I have an idea.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's that.
We're at the writing stage, are we?
So what my plan is now to do is I'm going to go through the document which I've done and I'm going to make a beat per chapter. And with that, I'm going to then form that into a kind of feature structure to try and get a basic skeleton structure that I know how the story is going to unfold.
Yep.
So when it comes to writing my chapter, I know what things I can tease, I don't know. It just makes more sense in my head if I get the whole movie ready, then I will be ready to write in my.
And there's things that are going to be in this proof of concept that tease a larger story.
Yes, 100%. Cool. But that's what my nearest plan is doing, and then I will go through the checklist and do the character breakdowns, everything leading towards the Bible,
I feel like you've done the hardest part.
Yeah, and I just can't wait to write.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm keen for the day that everybody here gets to hear about the writing process as well.
Yeah.
Because we've kind of jumped it, mine was written.
We skipped yours,
So it's going to be cool to get that process for the listeners.
It's going to be amazing. There were a lot of thoughts I had this week about, especially budget. Because I'm telling you right now, I budgeted my film, and I've been talking to so many people and what they reckon we can do, and they reckon we can get Curzon Hall, which is a hall that we're looking on getting.
Beautiful spot.
My mate reckons, you can probably get it for below $10,000.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like, how many days am I going to be there? It's just something I'm going to have to figure out, because that place is amazing. I just don't know how much they would charge me. But if I do it midweek, it's a wedding venue.
Yeah.
If I do it midweek, surely they wouldn't charge us. They don't need to set up. There's no catering. There's nothing. Just give me the space and we'll set up and film.
Exactly right, yeah.
I am going to bring in a bunch of extras, but hey, that's all right. But it's just, so that I was talking to people about that, and like, how am I going to get money? Because I'm budgeting mine to be about $30,000 to $45,000.
Hey, that's okay. We can get there. We'll get there.
But yeah. We'll worry about that later on. But I'm like, what? How am I going to get the money? I'm like thinking I can try grants, film grants. And speaking to Lex about it, she was like, don't even bother with film grants, man. Like, it's so hard to even get selected for those, or to be required, in Australia, if you want film grants from Screen Australia, Screen New South Wales, you either, it has to be all Australian film, usually about the LGBT community or Indigenous story, and they don't really give grants for anything other than those.
Yeah, I can.
And I don't think an 1890s period piece in London is going to take their fancy with the grants.
Yep. Okay, I see the logic. So
I'm probably going to have to dip into my own pocket, to be honest. Not for all of it. I'm going to try the crowdfunding again, see what I can get from that. But another thing I was thinking about is possibly sponsorships. And sponsorships, I'm like, but what things were back in the 1890s that are here today? So I've got a list of, not a list of things, but I was talking to my mates about it, and I don't know, maybe something like, I don't know, it was Coca-Cola back then. Maybe I have a mate that works higher up in Coca-Cola. Maybe get him, I don't know, I just got to think strategically.
You'd be surprised about the people you can reach out to be like, hey, how can, like, do you have any advice on this situation? And they'd just be like, bam. And then you'd be like,
here's $10,000. No. I know, man. But
you know what I mean? Like, if you reach out to some people, you'd be surprised with just how much like a phone call can do.
And like, I mean, it all comes down to who I get as producer and how we can strategically work out how to make this as cheap as possible. But, man.
But it will be done.
That's a later problem.
That's a bridge to cross later.
I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but I worked every day. I got home from work, did a chapter breakdown, spent 4 hours straight. Was it yesterday doing the chapter breakdowns?
Man's just wanted to finish.
Yeah, so that's what I'm up to on mine, and it's really exciting.
Yes.
And that line gets me hyped.
Yes, you should be proud of that.
Anyways, for you, my friend, I've done a lot.
Oh gosh.
So I've done a schedule. I'm going to read you the schedule. This is basically what I think. This is a mock schedule. This is not by any means confirmed.
Yep.
All right. So what is it? It is August 26th right now. By the 16th of September, animator locked in.
Yep.
By the 30th of September, cast and crew locked in.
Right.
3rd of October, crowdfunding begins.
Yes. I'm keen
7th of October, table read.
Damn.
14th of October, locations locked in.
Yep.
21st of October, rehearsals and character work. I feel like you would only need 1 day. 3rd of November, crowdfunding ends. So that's directly a month after when you started.
Yep.
Equipment and payments booked, 7th of November. And you can see these are all happening on a Friday. Okay. So when we would usually do the podcast. So you would be free, hopefully. Or this can change around
Yeah.
that week.
Yep.
Filming day 1 and the only day, November 25th.
November 25th.
Animation begins max anywhere from now till November 25th.
Okay.
And the max date that everything has to be started by is the 30th of November. I actually go away on the 28th of November to Bali. But that's what we got.
Sheesh, man. Far out. Now it's exciting hearing dates.
It's reality.
It is.
So filming day 1, November 25th.
November 25th. Okay.
You only have one day that you need to do.
Exactly.
And what I was thinking as well is I can probably AD for you as well.
Bro, that's too much.
Nah,
it's too much. No. I can't allow that. I can't. I literally can't.
Okay, fine. Guess what else?
Yeah.
But if you need me, I'll be there.
Between producing your own film, this film, and then 18, bro, that's not happening. I appreciate it,
fair.
but that's not happening.
All right, cool, man. I was just wondering. All right, cool. So we got that. Now, I've created also a mock budget. I don't know if you had a look at it.
I did have a little look-see, but I didn't, I forget the numbers now.
Right, these things will probably change, right? Location, $0 because we will find a place to get it. Production and costume design, props, everything like that. I have it 0 because I'm sure we can source everything.
Well, that's something that I wanted to do was sort of like...
We'll just source everything. Are you happy with that? Because you showed me that photo of the bedroom, you want poses and shit like that. I'm like, oh, fuck, maybe we should have some budget on that.
Yeah. But at the same time, I was just thinking like cast and crew can bring in some things to dress a room and all that kind of stuff. It saves
We'll
money.
ask on the big Facebook thing when we have people.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So $0. So at the moment, $0.
Yes, sir.
Catering, $200.
Okay.
Right, for the one day.
Yep.
That could give them lunch.
Yep.
Snacks. Dietary requirements, water. We'll get them to bring their own water and we'll supply extra water. All right. Now this is where we get... Actually, I'll start smaller and we'll go to the big ones. Contingency money. $250 at the moment. This money will go towards any extra expenses. I have also descriptions under each of them. This money will go to any extra expenses that pop up on the day, and or any leftover money will go towards the film festivals.
Okay. Yep.
Cool. Cast expenses. Cooper. Actually, we'll keep this private. Crowdfunding fees, depending on what you decide to do, what type of crowdfunding. You can either do fixed or flexible. Fixed is a fixed rate. I don't know which one's which. I think flexible is you get the money no matter what if you don't reach your target, but you have to pay a 5% fee.
Right.
The other one is you have to get your money to the target that you set it at, or you get none at all, and it goes back to the people, but you don't have to pay a fee. Right? I think it's something like, we'll talk about that.
I'm glad it'll go back to the people if it doesn't reach the
exactly.
target.
And that's sometimes what draws more people in to give. I was about to say to bet. That's all right. Now we go to crew expenses. DOP, somewhere between, Lex told me, $500 to $1,000 a day. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they have their equipment, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
Helpful if they do. $750 I put. Soundy. This one's up for interpretation. I have little stars next to the ones that we'll be able to maybe sort out, maybe get cheaper, maybe nothing at all. Soundy, I have $500. Now, that's based on a professional soundy who you would still have to get their equipment. Maybe they'll have their equipment. I'm not sure. Usually around $500 to $750 a day or something like that.
Yep. I asked the guy about sound at work, and he said he's happy to lend me a piece of equipment.
Bro.
So if people know how to use this piece of it, because I've never heard of it before.
What is it? F7?
I'll get it up, but just while I get it up, keep
cool.
talking.
Production designer, depends how much work they're doing, right?
Yep.
But if we're not doing much, you still want a PD for set dressing and stuff like that. But production designer, Lex said that you could possibly get someone from uni, and it depends how much they do. $250.
Yeah.
Right. Equipment, $750.
Yeah. Okay.
Overall, the rest of the crew will be volunteers, minor roles, etc. If you get any of these members for free, that means more money for the contingency budget. Yeah. Crew expensive.
Okay. Right. You can work with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Equipment is called a Zoom H6 field recorder.
That's usually what they do.
So he said he's happy to lend that.
Okay, cool.
So I can hit him up.
Then that's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And you'll see, this is the basis, rough. This can change. All right, that's cool. Animation.
This is going to be a kick to the teeth.
So, this is probably our biggest, well, it is our biggest expense. Usually, these would be massive.
Yes.
Because usually I was searching up and 60 seconds of animation can range depending on the animator. So you don't really have a specific amount because, you know, when you get to Disney, 1 minute is like $100,000. I have a budget of about 5,000 written down for animation. And that is very generous. But
Generous is in like low.
very low. But hopefully we could. But we are new to this world, right? And we try our best to go down these routes. We could try the JMC animators.
Thought
and
crossed my mind.
That could be or close to.
Yes.
Still, you might want to pay them for their time.
Yeah.
But they're doing it for experience.
Yes, exactly right. That is a thought I had.
These are our internal thoughts as amateur filmmakers. You've got to find little ways to make this actually doable.
Well, because you look back on when we went to that screening of JMC films, there was animation in student projects.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, like, it is achievable.
Yeah.
So
I was going to hit up Brendan, but he's currently directing a play and his opening night is today.
Okay.
And I didn't want to interrupt him. So I'll do it later this week.
his favourite character on Only Murders must be Oliver. Because he's a
Oh
theatre
my
director.
God, yeah. Bro, he will film that show.
Yeah.
Another thing, VFX for him getting sunk into the sink. This could cost money or you could cheat it.
Yeah. I've
You
tried to
could
think
cheat
of...
it by sound design and just cutting to black.
Exactly right.
Or
That's it.
something like that.
Yep.
Which you should.
All thoughts.
Get the sound design of the little, maybe a close up of the sink. This is not giving anything away, I don't think.
Yeah.
But the sink swirling vortex, and then there you go, you've cheated it. Which I think post VFX $0.
Good.
Yep.
Good. Also, that's another thing that Aaron did show me. He drew the swirling vortex above.
Cool.
So that's something that we can go off as well.
Amazing.
Cool. Oh,
Crowdfunding, crowdfunding fees are like 5% usually of whatever you raise. Total budget at the moment. What do you reckon?
Oh, well, I wasn't counting as we went. 10?
No.
11?
8.
8?
Just 8.
Oh. Okay. That's
So that's what we're working with.
okay. That's a lot.
And that's, yeah.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good.
It's
with
actually
that.
not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, no, it's not as bad as I thought either.
But that's saying that we can get this animation for 5,000.
Exactly right.
And let's hope. And I reckon it's possible. You just got to know how to make deals and
Yep,
what
exactly
to
right.
deal with.
No. I agree.
And yeah, so that's that. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is I had a call earlier this week. And we've locked in your main character. I had a call with Cooper and Tracy earlier this week.
You did?
I had a call with them, and because Tracy messaged me and said that she's been listening to the podcast. Well, she listened to a podcast, and
Hello, Tracy.
I thought
Hello.
I thought she meant that she had listened to us talking about Cooper, but they heard nothing about it. So I'm like, Trace, I'm so glad you've hit me up. Can I have a call with you, like tomorrow, whatever?
Yeah.
So yeah, sure. I thought in my head, I thought they knew, but they didn't. So I called them up. They were just telling me they'll be listening to the pod, and had
It's
chats
about
with
time,
them.
Cooper. You've been liking the stuff on Instagram.
Had a chat to them, and they were absolutely over the moon.
No.
And we have a call with them at 5 o'clock today.
Oh my God.
Because I didn't tell them the story. I was like, I will let Austin do that for you.
Oh.
And I'll let Austin explain to you. But they're in. They're in. And they couldn't be more excited. I gave them a basis of like, this is what's happening. There's a day of...
Bro, I want to cry.
Nah, bro. There's a day of filming, and then the rest will be voiceover work. And it was funny because I was like to her, bro, I've seen Cooper. My friends have seen Cooper on Domino's commercials and sent it to me. And so he's been doing bits. He's super, super, super excited. I said that we would pay him. I didn't say how much yet because we're still trying to figure that out. So that's sorted, and we have a call with them at 5 o'clock where you're going to explain to them just basically the whole story and what's happening.
Oh my God, that is fucking amazing, Josh.
Yeah, bro. So you got that locked in, and I'm like, yeah.
Thank you so much.
You know how they know you? I mean, other than the podcast, as a guy that was telling people to stop playing basketball on my set.
Yes.
Where'd you wait? Were you crowd control?
I was crowd control on your film, and that's what separates Two's a Lesson from most Hollywood blockbusters is the crowd control. I think it was top notch.
Oh fuck. Anyways.
Oh my god. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So we have a talk with them at 5 o'clock. They said they're flexible anytime from today. Last thing, we'll do this before we wrap up. I know we've gone on a long time. 10 minutes, guys. We're gonna do this next segment. We're gonna do it real quick. All right. If we were to have a dinner date with 5 guests, we were hosting this dinner from the film industry, dead or alive. Who would we have?
Oh, I only went with alive.
All right, alive.
But
all
okay.
of mine are alive as well. Yeah.
You know what? I came at it with a theme in mind.
Go me.
I don't mean to go first. If you want to go first, please go first.
Nope, you go first.
Cool.
Yeah.
I went in with a theme in mind, right? Dinner parties can be enjoyed with lots and lots of banter.
Okay.
And banter, I just mean comedy throughout the entire night. You can start off once the wine start flowing, the beers start flowing, and the chat picks up and stuff like that. You know, some jokes can come out, and it can just be a really great time. So I memorized the 5. I don't have to look at my phone and stuff like that. But the first person I'm inviting is Florence Pugh. And I'll tell you why. It's because I feel like Florence Pugh is a lot of fun.
Are you going to get her to do a Russian accent as well?
I'm getting her to play Yelena.
Are you making macaroni or whatever it was?
100%. And I could listen to her saying, yes. And like, what?
She would be hella fun, bro.
Right? She would be so much fun. And do you know who I did to counter that? Haley Steinfeld.
Oh! Can I come?
Florence Pugh and Haley Steinfeld are invited because those two are just going to bounce one-liners off each other, and I just feel like their chemistry is awesome.
What a dinner
and
party!
I wouldn't even eat, man. I would just
Haley
sit there and watch
Steinfeld is single, so I'm guest number 3. Yeah,
I say this as a happily taken man. I'm just sitting there to watch with my other guests as well.
Yeah.
I am inviting The Rock.
Yep. Okay.
I'm inviting Kevin Hart.
I knew that was going to happen. Yep.
And I'm inviting Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, wow. Wow. What a dinner party.
And the jokes and the one-liners that would be bouncing off every single person at this party.
God, mine's going to be much more subdued than that.
I feel like it'd be the greatest dinner party ever.
That's amazing, bro.
So that's my 5 guests.
Cool.
And I feel like it'd be such a great time. And then once because we were limited to 5, but then I'm just going to start getting the caterers to bring in more tables. And then people are just going to come in. My friends and family are going to come in and they're going to watch it all unfold. So it's going to be a great time.
Oh, fuck. Imagine a podcast with all them 5, bro.
Oh, my days.
Shit. Okay. Well, I went, fuck. It was much harder for me to choose my 5. And I have subs on the bench as well. It's really hard to choose out of these. Number 1, Hans Zimmer.
Ooh, he's going to have a nice composer in the back.
Literally, so it was between Hans Zimmer or Lin-Manuel Miranda. And I'm like, I could go Lin-Manuel, but I feel like he would talk too much about theatre. And I love theatre, but Hans Zimmer is more my kind of like, realm and stuff
I know
like
you're
that.
a big
And
fan.
Hans Zimmer has had I would love to hear, just I don't know, his experiences and how, you know how soundtracks are the biggest thing for me.
Yep.
And you can't talk about soundtracks and not think of Hans Zimmer.
100%.
In the film industry.
He's the GOAT of it. He's the GOAT.
Number 2, Damien Chazelle.
Look, I knew that either him or somebody else who might be at your dinner party. I was like, I 100% think Damien Chazelle on Josh's table
because he makes the type of movies I loves. Again, music is a big thing for me when it comes to film, and hearing Chazelle and Hans, I'll sit them next to each other, Chazelle and Hans Zimmer, right? Talk how they go back and forth and both their experiences of, incorporating music into their films. And Chazelle, La La Land, Whiplash. I want to hear his experiences on my favourite film of all time. Number 3, Chris Nolan.
See, these are the 2, Chazelle and Nolan.
You can't go past Nolan, mate.
See, they were the 2 I knew were going to be.
Nolan, I want to pick Nolan's brain about storytelling. I want him to tell us a bedtime story at the dinner table.
And it will go... He will talk to us for 4 hours and somehow make it go for 10 minutes.
Literally.
Because that man can manipulate time.
Mate, the start of the story will be the end and it will just be crazy and everybody will be like, what the fuck? Where's the dinner? Let's see.
Layers. And literally. His choice of dinner, I can guarantee, he just eats lasagna each night because layers.
Yeah. Yeah, baby. Let's go. All right. Well, there you go. Nolan. 4, Robert Downey Jr.
Nice. Good pick. I toyed with him on my table as well. I toyed with him on mine.
RDJ, one of the most amazing actors of this generation.
100%. Did you see the comparison between him and Brie Larson? Their Twitter bios?
I don't want to see.
So Brie Larson went on to describe herself and like, I'm this, I'm that, I'm blah, 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 blah. Robert Downey Jr.'s one is like, you know who I am.
Mate, that's it. He walks into a room, you know who he is.
Exactly right. You know who he is. Exactly.
But mate, picking his brain on Iron Man, his experiences in that massive machine that is Marvel, just
and his
background and how he's
bounced back as well.
Bounced back,
you know?
yeah. Like, geez, man, like you've seen the photos of him, like the mug shots and stuff. Just his story would be
incredible,
entertaining,
incredible.
Last on the list.
Oh, let me try and think. But while I'm thinking, I'm obviously going to be like, no, not who I was thinking. Or
who would you guess?
Who do you rave about?
Ryan Gosling.
See.
You can't go past Ryan Gosling, an absolute monster in the acting business. And just like, I love Ryan Gosling. He's a good looking man. Like, he's just, I don't know. He would just, I don't even know how to explain. It's Ryan Gosling. It's Ryan fucking Gosling.
I promise you his name was in my mind, but because of a recent film, I didn't know he'd be at your table.
No. It doesn't matter. I thought he was all right in The Grey Man. It's okay, just, fuck, we mentioned it.
That's the second time you've mentioned it, not me.
Just let's go figure. Let's just mention it each podcast.
No, but yeah, okay.
Gosling.
Cool, man.
Yeah. So those are my 5, and I'll tell you my subs if one of them can't make it. Christian Bale, Joaquin Phoenix, Leo DiCaprio, Hugh Jackman, Lin-Manuel.
Nice.
Maybe that can be another time. But
very nice.
Yeah. Well, fuck.
Mate, I reckon this is our longest episode.
Yeah. I hope.
Yeah. I have to do some choppy cutties.
We have a guest on next week.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
Yes, we do.
He should be actually here right now, maybe. But it's Jay Chesson. So tune in next week to hear him on the podcast. I'm
very excited to hear his story.
That'll be interesting. Very funny pod as well.
Yeah, 100%. Now, Josh.
Yep.
Like we do every week, I want you to tell these lovely people where to find us.
I mean, if you haven't found us already, I don't know how you're here, but
tell a friend to tell a friend.
The Pre-Prod Pod on Insta and TikTok, and the Pre-Production Meeting on YouTube. And now I think it's time to wrap it up. Let's go, and we will see you
with some juicy progress next week. A lot of shit's going to happen this week.
Let's get to our meeting.
So excited. All right, I'm tying a nice little bow on this. We're out of here. Catch us later.